So it's been about a week since I built the Tronxy X1 kit, and I thought it was time that I did a final review on what I thought about the kit, whether it was a value or not, or if it was a kind of a waste of time and money. So, as you'll notice, mine is already heavily modified with spool and end stop holders and tensioners, various other things. And I'm still not done. I'm going to add a fan. I'm going to add some part cooling. I'm also going to change the containment on the bottom. Unfortunately, the reason I have to do that is because out of the box, this kit was not capable of functioning. Now, maybe they're not all that way, but this one was not going to work without major modifications. I had to print a new bed. I had to change the end stops. I had to put brackets on the X, the Y, and the Z to get proper stabilization, to get decent prints. And I was able to get some pretty good prints. I'm still tuning. I'm not done yet. So one thing that I also had to change is I went to Slicer. Now that's just personal preference. This machine runs on straight G code, so any modern slicing software will work, but Slicer was the one that worked the best for me. I'll show you some prints that I've got right here. I made both of these. The Sphinx was the bottom of the model's my fault. I tried to go too thin because I was running out of filament. This is very old filament. So anyway, let's get to the guts of it. So what I like about the Tronxy X1 kit was that it was really cheap. I mean, there was almost nothing in that price range that I paid for this. It assembled very, very easily and very quickly, and it had everything I needed in the toolkit if you were going to build it the way that they thought it should be built. That being said, it is lacking the critical pieces that it needs to be a viable 3D printer. They really needed to spend an additional $5. You can see the tensioners. These make all the difference in the world. The bed, the end stops. I'm still not done redesigning the end stop. I made a spool holder for it. I'm actually having some extruder issues. I had to put a tougher spring in there. The kit itself was a cheap kit. A little too cheap. They really needed to do about, I don't know, $5 to $10 worth of 3D printed parts in here to make this kit what I would consider a good first-timer value. If you do not have a 3D printer to print these pieces, this is not the kit for you. Because if you get one like I got that's completely out of tolerance, then you're just SOL. Now the cons were, I had to put extensive modifications to get mine to print correctly. You can see that I had to add belt tensioners to get the beds stable. I had to put brackets on all the axes to make it stable because there was a 1/4 inch of slop in everything, which is just unacceptable. I also printed my own spool holder, and the extruder I had to add a second spring because the one they sent simply did not work. It just didn't have enough force to actually extrude. So it is not a beginner kit. If you don't have a 3D printer or somebody to help make these parts, you're just going to have a printer that doesn't work. That's a fail on their part. Now, anybody that has this kit that needs these parts, if you don't have somebody, message me. We can work something out. They're very cheap. They're very simple parts. They're available on Thingiverse. I'm going to put the links in the description. What I printed out, and I'm also going to be adding some of my own in the Thingiverse file to help people with this machine. Without those, if your machine is out of tolerance, it's just absolute junk. Now, on the flip side, with those parts, I've been able to get some pretty decent prints, and I'm still tuning it. So my final verdict is there is probably better kits near the same money for a beginner to start on, okay? However, if you're somebody who likes to tweak and tune like I do, the kit can be made viable relatively easy. It is not a phenomenal printer by any sort. It's a budget printer, and as long as you keep that in mind, you won't be disappointed. However, I would probably spend a little bit more and go a model up. An ANET A8 or something along those lines. Anyway, I'm going to show you some video of it printing. It worked good. I'm torn on it. It's been a fun project. It really has. So anybody that has one of these, if you have questions, suggestions, ideas, let me know in the comments below. Please subscribe. We're going to continue developing this machine and making it a viable printer. I need it to. In retrospect, this rep wrap that I built like 10 years ago did not work very well right out the box, and now it's one of my favorite printers. And this QUBD over here, up 3, worked great till it was at a fire, but it did take a little bit of tuning. So anyway, I will talk to you later.